exhibition game? Really? I don't want to hear it when the winning team is rubbing the losing team's nose in it. Kind of like when AUM won an exhibition game and it was no big deal. Can't say I'm really thrilled about this little experiment coming up in a couple of months on the hardwood.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm glad you got that final little word coming in there. Otherwise, I'd have felt like I was in Bizarro World or something like that. First of all, he's John Longshore. I'm Barry McKnight. But you already knew that. That's why you're here, is for Longshore and McKnight, after all, on our Thursday show. And man, it's the gift that keeps on giving, Clark. Just you get up in the morning and you're feeling good, you're loving life, you can't wait for the day to start because you've got so many things that have just kind of popped up on you.
Percolated.
What John is referring to is a preseason men's basketball exhibition game in a little bit less than 2 months at BJCC Legacy Arena in Birmingham, an preseason exhibition game between Auburn and Alabama. There are 2 preseason exhibition games for both teams. Both will also participate the previous week in the annual Ballin' at Boutwell event at Boutwell Auditorium, Auburn versus Florida State in an exhibition October 14th, Alabama in an exhibition against Ole Miss October 15th, and then they'll play each other at the BJCC on October 22nd. Why even
were athletes in action not available?
Oh, that's in the regular season. No, I don't know. I don't know.
Don't give me this exhibition business. It ain't an exhibition. You know as well as I do the morning after, hey, you Bammers, yeah, we beat you. Yeah, okay, yeah, that Nate Oates, blah, blah, blah. Don't want to hear that. Exhibition, smexhibition.
Ooh,
there again, somebody somewhere out there said, hey, AUM beat Auburn in an exhibition game. Now, that was 25 years ago, but hey, it happened.
It is unofficially being called, again, the week before you've got Ballin' in Boutwell. Come on, people.
Come on.
Don't you have any more creativity? Hey, they both begin with the letter B. Let's go with that. The next week, the Auburn-Alabama game is called The Feud.
Yeah.
The Feud.
I mean, Barry, they're selling tickets. I mean, it doesn't sound like an exhibition to me. Hey, come on out if you got a couple of minutes and watch us shoot some hoops. Oh, but it's going to cost you $35 to get in.
The only thing about this that could make John more frustrated is if they called it the Iron Bowl on the hardwood. And John's like, not for an exhibition game. No. I've been banging that topic for years. Well, how would you like, for instance, Alabama, how would you like to play Ole Miss and Auburn before November even starts, and then you've got to sell your fans on actual real games between against Sam Houston, Oakland, Kennesaw State. No. See, that stuff that those were exhibitions. Samford right before New Year's. Those were just exhibitions. These are the real ones. This is the real thing. You guys really need to go to these. Well, we've already played Auburn and Ole Miss. Yeah, but they didn't count. Buy these tickets.
I didn't think about that. Yeah. So they want me to go to see the Iron Bowl on the hardwood exhibition style, which they're selling tickets, and it'll be sold out. And then they want me to come watch them play. Who was that again? Kennesaw State?
Kennesaw State, Oakland.
On a Tuesday at 6:00. No, not going to do it.
It is on a Tuesday, but the time has yet to be determined.
Wow.
Bill from Baltimore says, John, I was at that Auburn AUM game. John, I was at that game. Oof. AUM students were taunting.
They weren't the only ones taunting, Bill.
Yeah.
I'm glad you remembered that, Bill, because some people discount that. I mean, that was a hype exhibition or not. You talk to any AUM fan, that's the high point of their athletic career success over there.
Yeah, and the low point of Jeff Lebo's career. Smexhibition, yeah, that was not easy for him to say. He went for it.
That was a tough one.
This is a day for schedules because college football begins today, by gosh.
That's right.
It is what's called Week 0, and it starts tonight. Maine versus Towson, Ohio Dominican versus Morehead State, Mississippi Valley State at Nichols.
Ohio U has a campus in the Dominican Republic?
No. It's not Ohio U. It's Ohio Dominican. That's like Texas Christian. This is Ohio Dominican. But there is college football tonight, and I know what you're saying. Oh, Thursday. This is week 0. Week 0 is a real week. For instance, I was busy yesterday. The football season's about to begin at Troy. I'm about ready to begin broadcast. John, I was busting it yesterday, trying to get ready, right?
Yep.
And then here comes the news. Through Twitter, I saw it on Twitter, that Alabama has added to their football schedule in 2029 in week 0. So you guys, week 0. Alabama's playing in week 0 in 3 years?
Yep.
Alabama will host Louisiana Tech August 25th, 2029 at Bryant-Denny Stadium. That Louisiana Tech game fills a spot previously held by a home with Oklahoma State, which was canceled in May, and it wasn't canceled out of Stillwater.
Yeah. Well, I don't know about that, but I don't know if they were playing. I don't know if they were playing Oklahoma State on August 25th.
No. It was not August 25th.
Yeah.
They had to have a game, though.
Yeah.
And
but that's where I'm a little confused. Are they going to add another game?
Yeah, they better, because they're short one.
So they've just added a game in week 0.
Louisiana Tech boys
need to add another one.
Yeah.
So I guess Troy wasn't available.
Oh, they ain't playing Troy.
They
ain't playing Troy for whatever reason. I'm not beating my chest and saying, but that just ain't happening. Louisiana Tech is in the Sun Belt.
I'll say this. I think this goes without saying. I won't be there. So it really doesn't affect my scheduling. Now, if it had been somebody a little bit more worthy, probably would have taken a shot and seen what's going on. But they got Notre Dame the next week
in South Bend. So they need one more. They need one more out of conference game, because you play 3 out of conference games these days.
Towson State's looking pretty good, or Kennesaw, whatever. If they have a football team, they're probably
they do. Yeah, they do.
Getting a phone call today. But the way I look at it, though, they still. I went to college football future schedules. The thing that tells you schedules.
His helmet schedules
4 decades in advance, kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And they only have Alabama listed with 2 non-conference games in 2029.
Correct.
La Tech and Notre Dame.
Yeah,
if they're going to play in week 0, they got to come up with 2 more.
No, 1 more. Remember, 9 conference games. They got to come up with.
No, they got to come up with 2 more non-conference games, because is this not an added game? Week 0.
It's not an added game. You can only play 12 games, and
so
you got
if you play
9
week
conference
0, you're not playing 13 games.
No.
Why would you play in week 0?
That's a different question. I don't know. I don't know.
Do they want to get a game in before they play Notre Dame the next week?
Well, see, their road schedule in 2029 at Notre Dame, at Auburn, at Florida, at Texas. They need to get they needed to add games. They needed to add number 1, a home game or 2. And number 2, they needed to add a game at home against somebody they can beat.
I don't know. The last 2 times they played La Tech, they've lost.
Another fair point.
But I wonder.
Week 0 is not a bonus week. Week 0 counts in
So,
the season.
so I'm thinking, why would you start then? But
I'm
you
with
want a
you.
game before you want Notre Dame, or
Yeah.
more importantly, do you want more off weeks before those conference games you just mentioned? Maybe we want to finagle it where we play early, where we get an off week before we play Texas or Florida or whoever else is on their schedule in 2029. To me, I think it's more of a scheduling of off weeks. So we'll go ahead and front load it with La Tech, which I've always, to me, La Tech's kind of I don't know, there's something kind of a renegade. These guys are kind of lone wolves, renegades. I got a little respect for La Tech. Not what happened 25 years ago, but I don't know. I always kind of like the uniforms too.
Oh, they're horrible.
But
the uniforms are terrible.
They're getting
maybe
TV
Alabama needs to have a non-winning record. Needs to not have a losing record against Louisiana Tech. As Daniel points out, La Tech has a winning record versus Alabama.
Well, this makes perfect sense. You need to schedule Rice. They got a losing record against the Owls. Call them up today. Rice available? Put them on the schedule.
Bill from Baltimore, who had a little candy cane
Louisiana.
for us earlier.
Is it Ruston, Louisiana?
It is in Ruston. I've been there. I was there a little bit. I did the show there from last year, I think, as a matter of fact. But I was busy yesterday getting ready for my game. This comes across. Of course, I had to screenshot it and send it to John. Yeah. Greggy, what is you doing? But golly, as a responsible journalist, I had to go to Tighter Insider.
Oh, wow. I hadn't done that. What'd they say?
Woo! You better have on your asbestos underpants in that one. At the time, they've kind of calmed down a little bit. Now they're like John. They're wondering about why play an exhibition against Auburn.
Yeah, well,
why do that?
Yeah, I totally. To me, that makes zero sense. I don't get it. Well, I know money. That's exactly what it's about. It's all about money. They might play 2 or 3 exhibition games if they make enough profit.
Yeah. But that one, I don't know. The more you do it, it's like Pat McAfee,
Yeah.
McAfee is okay in small doses, like a minute. But nowadays on ESPN, you see Pat McAfee here, and Pat McAfee's going to be on the NFL pregame show, and Pat McAfee has a 3-hour show, and Pat McAfee, it gets a little bit old after a while. You want to keep it fresh. Auburn and Alabama should never be an exhibition game in anything.
I agree.
I
don't think you should have an exhibition game against any school in your conference.
I'm with you.
They're playing Ole Miss too.
They got 2. That's exactly right.
There again, play athletes in action. Play Dayton, Towson State, Southwest Missouri Wesleyan or whoever.
Ohio Dominican.
Yeah, but I don't get this. I mean, does it diminish the importance of this rivalry by having an exhibition game? Yeah, I kind of think it does.
I'm
going to play an exhibition game in football? I don't think so.
Makes me nervous. I'm agreeing all over the place with John.
I don't like that. But back to La Tech. If they'd have scheduled this game in week 4, big deal, so what? Another crap game that they put on the schedule. Every team does it every year. Until we go to the big boy league, and you got to play big boys every week, which is something I want to do. But the more I think about it, La Tech or Mercer or UT Chattanooga, they were going to play some crap team anyway, since Notre Dame was already on the schedule. But I do think the reasoning is we don't want to go to South Bend without a game under our belt. I get that.
100%. 100%.
And there again, I thought week 0, you were playing 13 games. If you had a week 0 game you wanted to play, boom, go do it. But now that I know that that's not the case, I'm thinking off weeks are what they're looking at as well, to be able to space or put their off weeks where they want them or get the league to put them where they want them.
Right.
And I could see, there again, I think you're going to see other schools do this type of stuff as well, particularly if they're playing bigger non-conference games on their schedule and maybe want to get one under the belt before they hit the road. I could see something like that. There again, I mean, I think August 25th is a little early for college football to start. That's just my preference. If it was at night, I'd probably feel better about it, but I'm going to think they're wanting to get this game played early in the morning so they can get ready and pack up and fully focus on Notre Dame the next week. They don't want to play at night and the game's over at midnight and you know how all that goes. So,
John, that is very well presented.
well,
That is very passionately set forth to our viewing and listening audience about why they're doing that. Bear in mind, John ain't going.
I ain't going.
No, let's not. He ain't that passionate about the subject. He hasn't delved into it like he's dissecting a frog in biology class. He ain't going. He doesn't care about it. He won't watch it, and he'll look at the final score a little bit later on. But he kind of gets it now. Okay, La Tech. Like their uniforms. It's all right. Western Louisiana. Could be worse. There you go.
So then now I didn't, jump up and down and run up and down the street. Woo, yay, yippee. I just kind of rolled my eyes and went, well, okay, here's another thing they're doing. So
has John ever gone running up and down the street? Woo, yeah, yippee, woohoo.
I think when I heard the Notre Dame home and home series, I think I might have.
Against Auburn? No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding. Also, a passionate subject that we'll touch on in a little while. The end of an era, the end of a period of time where John really, really utilized the tools in front of him. What in the world is ESPN doing getting rid of its bottom line ticker during college football games? That is going away. We'll talk about that because we have really got to dissect that a little bit later on. But that
is there a reason for that? Will you explain the reasoning?
We will when we come back. He's John Longshore. I'm Barry McKnight. It's Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
Known by avid golfers as one of the most beautiful and challenging stops on the Robert Trent Jones Golf Trail, Cambrian Ridge in Greenville lies just 40 miles from Montgomery. It is well worth the ride for any golfer looking for 27 holes of jaw-dropping golf. The greens have been redesigned to accommodate the higher green speeds associated with their installation of the latest generation of ultra-dwarf Bermuda grass. Cambrian Ridge offers a fully stocked pro shop with all the latest equipment and apparel. Great food and beverages in the clubhouse can be enjoyed both before and after your round. Get your group together and hit the trail. Go to rtjgolf.com/Cambrian Ridge for tee times and more information. Phoenix Physical Therapy is ready to help patients recover, recharge, and rise. They develop a customized therapy plan for each patient to get them back to enjoying their favorite activities. Their experienced team is committed to providing exceptional care in a professional environment. Whether you're looking to prevent or treat an injury, recover from a recent illness, or recuperate from surgery, schedule an appointment with one of their clinics and take advantage of physical therapy, athletic training, workers' comp, and employer solution services. Get back in the game, get back to work, and get back to life with Phoenix Physical Therapy. To find a location near you and to schedule an appointment, go to phoenixphysicaltherapy.com. That's phoenixphysicaltherapy.com. Hey, you want your property looking its very best this spring and summer, and River Region Straw has premium long needle pine straw to make that property pop. You're not buying sticks, stems, or pine cones. You're buying premium long needle pine straw from River Region Straw. Kenny and his staff have access to the best pine straw in the region, full of color that will last all season long. And now River Region Straw has a fourth location in Chelsea on Highway 280 to go along with their locations here in Montgomery, Prattville, and Auburn. No order is too big or too small, from a few bales to an 18-wheeler trailer load. To get your River Region Straw, drop by any of their 4 locations or give Kenny a call or text today, 669-5959. That's 669-5959, and have the best-looking property this spring and summer with straw from River Region Straw.
I don't care what kind of stories that's been told on you. That may be a lot of things in life you used to do. If you can't give true love to me, I'll understand. Just do the best you can.
Michelob Ultra, 2.6 carbs and 95 calories.
All righty, back at it about 20 minutes past the hour. Hey, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We really appreciate it. It helps us out a lot, and you don't miss any of the content here from Longshore McKnight, which you can catch on YouTube, Facebook, X, Instagram, Spotify, iTunes, Yellowhammer News, and yellowhammernews.com. Check it out on the Yellowhammer News Facebook page. Really appreciate that. Hit the like, hit the subscribe button. Jason Caldwell, Auburn 247 in about 9 minutes from now. So we'll get a link over there to Jason to get him hooked up with us.
Oh, yeah.
Looking forward to that. Rodney Orr, the Tighter Insider at the top of hour number 2, brought to you by the Destin Connection Seafood Market. Now, I want to know the reasoning why they're taking this away from the bottom line. And I will tell you this, Barry, if Fox Business gets rid of the ticker at the bottom of their screen, wait a minute.
Well,
I want to know what's going on with Acme Vacuum Cleaner Company. What's going on here?
it was absolutely flatlining, and I need to know if it's getting any better. Yeah. According to Front Office Sports' Ryan Glasspiegel, ESPN plans to remove its bottom line ticker during college football games to, quote, provide a less cluttered viewing experience that better showcases the action on the field. End quote. You may have noticed, if you didn't, it's kind of dumb for me to say it, but I'll say it. When you had the college football playoff games, you didn't have the ticker at the bottom. You didn't get to know about NHL or that's my problem with the ticker. Is it got to be more than just scores? I'm sitting here. I want to know what's happening with Western Kentucky and Louisiana Tech, and it's about to come up to that score. And guess what? Angel Reese of the WNBA has set a single game record with number of offensive rebounds and a half. I just give us the scores. Here's what happened. ABC, ACC Network, ESPN, ESPN2, ESPNU, ESPN News, SEC Network. There will still be score alerts during the game at specific times during each quarter, the old Simpson Pepper. They'll have a time where they'll give you a couple of updates, and updates in places like above the score bug or on the top right of the screen. That's in case, so-and-so and such delayed by lightning. When it begins, you can watch it on ESPN News. That stuff, you'll still have that. But what was happening was, number one, they're putting a bunch of crap on it that nobody cares about. Number two, people would be looking at the score bug and instead of, watching the game, they're looking at the score bug and saying, oh, wait, North Carolina State just scored back-to-back touchdowns. Ooh, they're within 5. Let me go watch that game somewhere else. They don't want you to do that, John. They
used to put the upset alert tag on a score as well, which would get you interested. That's what the quad box is for, ladies and gentlemen. You can watch 4 games at one time. Ooh, what's going on over here? Oh, like that, good.
See, ESPN was worried about too much clutter on the screen. For John, that ain't enough clutter.
Ain't enough.
I don't need things down there to clutter me up. I'm going to watch 3 other games in their entirety.
Exactly. Well, I don't know about entirety. I just want the high points. I'm with you there. Look, I just want the scores. And now I get it on my phone, so I ain't got to sit there and watch it at the bottom of a screen. But what got me, Barry, the NFL Network was the worst. They put up the score, and before they got to the next scores, they had to put the stats up for about every player that participated in the game that day. I do not care that so-and-so rushed for 112 yards today. I didn't bet on that. I want to know what the score is.
Did it make you want to just bang your head when they would show fantasy results, fantasy winners this week? Fred Smith, Wide receiver, Arizona Cardinals.
Forget
9 catches, 113 yards, gives him 32 fantasy points. I'm not talking about real competition.
I could have cared less about it. That drove me insane. So
I'm with you.
I know where I get my score, so that doesn't really affect me. And if less clutter, I get it. Okay, more game, more screen.
And people would turn your game off for a better game.
Yeah.
You know? Man, this was a 4-touchdown lead. Oh, hang on. They've made it close. They were down 21. Now they're only down 7. So
I will say this, Barry. I'm sure a lot of other people do this as well. Sometimes I've got 3 different games going on 3 different TVs. You know, the main one, I probably got the SEC game. I got a Big Ten team outside on the deck. In the bedroom, I might have an ACC game on. You know, because bathroom break. Oh, man, look at that. NC State's up. Okay, then come back out. Oh, yeah, look at that. Vandy cut it to 1. Go out to the Big Ten. Oh, look at that. Michigan State's rallying. You know.
Now, I got to admit, my wife, Dee, who is a big football fan, she'll get a Chromebook over on the TV tray.
Mm-hmm.
We'll get the iPad with something, especially on NFL games right after church. Because I'm watching the Jaguars, and Jaguars aren't normally on network TV. So you got the Jags over here. She's a Saints fan. She'll have the Saints game on the iPad, and whatever other game is on, linear TV for the NFL and all that. So we can do that. I just can't have all 4 of them up there. And John's talking about an Octobox.
Oh,
no.
Yeah.
Now,
they don't do the Octobox very often.
Good.
And they normally do it on the NFL Red Zone, like at 2-minute warnings, and they're all at the 2-minute warning. They'll put 8 games up there, and you're going, whoa, wait a minute. Yeah, you got to practice for the Octobox. They just can't throw it up there to you, and you're ready to go. You got to really, be knowing what you're going for and what you're looking at, because it can be a little intimidating.
Now, I got to ask you this. This is unrehearsed. I want John's knee-jerk reaction to this because this is news. It's not going to carry the program or anything. It'll get us to Jason Caldwell in a moment. I have spent a lot of time on the campus at Florida International University. That's in Miami. Used to be in the Sun Belt. FIU, not to be confused with FAU, Florida Atlantic University, which is the only school that Lane Kiffin has been a head coach at that he didn't leave on bad terms. This is FIU. FIU and Miccosukee Casino and Resort have agreed to an initial 3-year partnership where Miccosukee Casino and Resort will become FIU's inaugural jersey patch sponsor.
Sure.
And will appear on all football, men's basketball, women's basketball, and baseball jerseys beginning this fall. Yeah. John, it is, I got no love for FIU or anything, but that's the first one I've heard of that, by gosh, is going to have a casino on the patch on their jersey all the time. How does that, are we okay with that?
Quite personally, I don't care. Doesn't matter to me.
So what? You can't have gambling. We can't bet on games. Well, John mentioned one time, where was it you walked in and through? There was a Louisiana lottery, big old lit up sign.
In Baton Rouge at an Alabama LSU game on the scoreboard.
John wasn't, he wasn't like righteously indignant or anything. He says, wow,
it caught my attention.
Now there's a college football team that will have a casino on their jersey.
Well, there are casinos in the state of Florida. I know.
Oh, heck yeah.
Hard Rock or whatever's got one near Tampa. I didn't go while I was in the media days. I will say that. But I don't have a problem with it. Selling beer at the game. You can gamble on sporting events in, I believe, 38 states. Last I counted. They're gambling on it anyway. Might as well get some revenue from it. Doesn't matter. Yeah, there again, that's what's so hypocritical for me. To me, you see all these Indian casinos all over the place, and they are sponsoring stuff left and right. And there's some good things they're sponsoring. I'm with you. Charitable events that raise money for medical research, education, scholarships, things of that nature, and all these. Oh, we don't need gambling, but if they'll give us some money, we're good with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, the church needs a new wing over there. I got the casino chipping in. Don't tell anybody, but we'd love to have that money because we need that new bingo hall at the church. Unbelievable.
Yeah. It is a little bit hypocritical.
Yeah, sure it is.
To be honest with you. But anyway, that's also news of the day. Everybody's kind of settled down about the Alabama starting quarterback position because if it had been Austin Mack, I mean, we'd be talking about it through the entire season, but that's kind of what everybody thought.
I got
so that's no longer a big deal.
I got inundated yesterday afternoon. I know you talked about it. We talked about it. I had some distractions with some animals yesterday during the show, amongst other things that happened.
Yes.
And I was hit with, is Auburn really paying $3 million for their quarterback? And I went, Barry was talking about it today. I was a little distracted, but the more I thought about it, I went, wow, man, it's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money.
Woo.
That's more money than I make. I'll just go ahead and tell you that. When we come back, speaking of Auburn, Jason Caldwell, Auburn 247 is next with Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
Longshore and McKnight are brought to you in part by Stivers Automotive, Stivers Ford in Montgomery, and Stivers Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Prattville. For the absolute best on-site selection, service, and price, no other dealer can match Stivers. Stivers Ford in Montgomery is located at 4000 Eastern Boulevard and online at stiversfordmontgomery.com. Stivers CDJR in Prattville is located at 2209 Cobbs Ford Road and online at stiverscdjr.com. Longshore and McKnight have been Stivers customers for over 15 years. You should be too. Stivers Automotive, where Price sells cars, trucks, and SUVs.
Budweiser, the American lager. A time-honored recipe, true to our original process, brewed using the choicest hops, rice, and best barley malt, delivering great quality beer since 1876. Budweiser. This Bud's for you. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2024 Anheuser-Busch Budweiser Lager Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
At Dixie Overhead Door, we specialize in top-quality garage door solutions for homes across Alabama and Georgia. In need of a garage door repair or a brand new garage door installation, our expert team delivers fast, reliable service with local expertise that you can trust, providing customized solutions and exceptional care every step of the way. Visit us today at DixieOverheadDoor.com and experience the Dixie difference.
Okay, welcome back in, everybody. About 27 minutes at the top of the hour, as we do each and every Thursday. Our man Jason Caldwell, Auburn 247, hopping on with us today to talk about the Tigers. Jason, hope you're doing well.
I'm good, guys. How about y'all?
Doing really well. I want to open with this because I told my buddy I would. He is a subscriber to Auburn 247, as is John, as am I. And he wanted me to ask you this in this way. You have been covering Auburn football for a long, long time. You and Nathan have done a great job, particularly in covering, fall camp and everything like that. You've seen a lot of Auburn you've seen a lot of really, really good Auburn football. Hadn't happened in a little while, but you've seen a lot of it. You know what it looks like. So far, just you. Does this look like a good Auburn football team, maybe with the potential to be like some of the good Auburn football teams you've seen in the past?
I think there are parts of it where you go, that's what it's supposed to look like. The problem I have nowadays is that because you have so many new faces, it's just impossible to know from a talent standpoint what teams look like from year to year. I would guess that 2 years ago, if I'd have walked out to an Indiana practice, I would not have assumed that team was going to win 11 games. That's the difference now, because it's not just talent anymore. Like look, 10 years ago, you go like, which team's the most talented team? Okay, then more than likely that team's going to be one of the teams that's going to be playing for a national championship. Because you look at it now, you're going, look, we've seen it. Seniority, experience, all those things are really vitally important, because rosters are, even though their rosters are bigger, in my mind, they're thinner than they've ever been, because the top teams now don't have 4 and 5 4-stars at every position like they used to, because those guys are going to other places.
Right.
So there's more players on scholarship, but I don't think rosters are deeper than they used to be. So because of that, like, what does it look like? It's almost impossible to know. Look, do I think this team has the mindset and the things? I do think there's some things there that probably haven't been around in a while. My thing I struggle with right now is that we're basically a week away from starting a football season, and on the offensive side of the ball, I've seen Jeremiah Cobb, Omar Mabson, I saw Bryson Washington play on the other sideline, and I've seen Deshaun Spencer play in high school. That's the only guys on this offense I've ever seen play a football game in person. And you can watch film and do all that stuff, but I've never seen these guys play in person before. So I'm going into a season now going, man, I've seen what these guys look like, but I have no idea what they look like in a game. And so because of that, I'm going to look. I think there are a lot of positives coming out of camp, but like most teams in this league, outside of probably Georgia, and I would put probably Texas in there, even though I still don't think Texas is elite. I think they're good. I think Georgia's the team. Outside of that, I mean, give me LSU, Ole Miss, whoever it is, and I guess I know what they could be, but they have a ton of questions, and I think this Auburn team fits right along with most everybody else in this league.
You know, Jason, you're right. I know where you're heading with this, and I think it's, hey, I got to see it. We've talked about it. We've discussed it, had our sources tell us things here, there, and everywhere. But I want to see it with my own two eyes. Auburn, Alabama, Texas, Georgia, all these other schools.
It's everybody.
Then we'll have a better feel.
Yeah, it's everybody. I mean, you're right. I mean, like I said, I think Georgia, because they probably have the most pieces back that we've seen play, and they've kind of held on to those guys. But even them at wide receiver, it's almost completely new. They do have some other pieces back. Everywhere else, you're going like it's the new guy here, it's a new guy here, it's a new quarterback here. They rebuilt an offensive line. Like it's, I started doing, I've done kind of previews of the schedule going down. And every team I've done outside of Georgia, I mean, including Alabama. Alabama has a ton of new faces and a ton of different pieces. And you go, outside of Georgia, everybody, you go, well, I think this is who it's going to be. Don't really know what that guy's going to do, how they're going to work out. What's this new coordinator going to be with this new quarterback? It's everywhere. And so, look, I think it's going to be very similar to last year. I think you're going to have 2 or 3 teams in this league that probably are a step above. And then I think you're going to have 12 that you go, man, you can flip a coin right there, and they could have won that game or that game. Because that's what it was last year. Auburn lost 6 games by 7 points or less. Arkansas lost 5. I mean, look, that team didn't win a game, but they were in 5 of them. Mississippi State had games won. Can you win close games? And having a quarterback you believe in, finishing in the red zone with touchdowns, and doing those things can be the difference in 3 or 4 games. And if you can find those, you can look up and you can be an 8-9 win team without being a whole lot different, I believe.
There's a good question from our chat line here. I was going to get into this in a different way later on, but Daniel in the chat line, and I've totally lost track. Where is Alvin Henderson on the depth chart? 5-star running back. Well, I haven't heard of Alvin Henderson in a while.
Yeah, he's actually gotten some talk in the preseason. A guy that has worked hard, and I don't know. I mean, he might have been a 5-star somewhere. I think he was a 4-star for us. But coming from small school Elba, where basically most every time he touched the ball almost was a direct snap. So it was like a single wing. And then you get into college football and you go, okay, now you got to run an offense and you got to pass protect and you got to do all these things you have to do. And I think it's taken him a little while to kind of get going. And then you go, all right, you learned that as a freshman. Now we're doing it again as a sophomore, and it's a different offense. So I think it's probably taken a little while, but I think he's taken some really big strides. The issue for him is you got Jeremiah Cobb, Omar Mabson, Bryson Washington. You've got a bunch of guys in front of you that have been better so far. 2 of those guys really experienced. And so I think that's the hardest part is, look, there's just numbers at the running back position. We're talking about roster depth. That's one position I look at most everywhere now and go, look, it's like 1985 for most teams now at running back, when you used to have 2 or 3 on the field at a time and you carried 8 or 9 of those guys. Look at most everybody's running back room now, and they're 6 deep with scholarship running backs. We didn't see that the last few years, but that's one of the positions it looks like people have said, look, we're going to get more of those guys on the team, and I think it's a deeper position now.
That was my other question about that. Nakai Davenport, with the USF transfer, where does he, in your estimation, fit into all of that?
Yeah, he's been a little bit banged up. And you got Tay Meadows there. You got a guy that you know too. I think Tay's a guy that can play. So we just ran through. That's 6 guys that I feel like if you said, hey, we need some touches out of this guy, they could get it done. Nakai's a bigger back. I think it was probably going to be, hey, is it Bryson Washington or is it Nakai Davenport? Feels like Bryson Washington has kind of taken that role a little bit. And it's, look, because of what we just talked about a second ago, it's really almost impossible to get past really 2 running backs, much less 3. To get to 4 or 5 is something either really, really bad has happened or something really good has happened. But to get to those guys' carries is really, really difficult. But I think Alvin's going to be a guy that's going to help on special teams. Nakai's a guy that I think will still be in the mix. I could see him maybe as a short yardage guy when they get around the goal line doing some things like that. But yeah, the depth at running back's probably a strength for this team going into the season.
Jason, we discussed this yesterday on the program. It kind of surprised me. I just really wasn't aware of it. Byron Brown reported a $3 million NIL deal. Is that kind of the average for a quarterback? It seemed a little high to me when I first heard about it, but I'm just kind of curious. And I guess obviously if it is, it didn't stay in there. It's only going to get higher and higher in terms of what these guys are going to want to be getting paid.
Yeah, did he report that?
He did not.
No, we were just.
I don't trust anybody that tells me what somebody else is making.
Yeah,
I don't know. Nobody's told me. I would guess it's probably in the neighborhood, but I think look. Everybody's in that neighborhood because somebody in the thread was mentioning, well, that makes 6 and 6. You know, you can't have 6 and 6. Well, everybody else is paying their quarterback the same, so somebody's going to finish 6 and 6. Because everybody's there. I don't care how much you think Vandy paid 5-star freshman quarterback to keep him at home instead of going to Georgia.
Yeah.
I bet it's a lot of money considering that you had comedians and music people kicking in the NIL portion of it. It's part of this world. And listen, hopefully this world is beginning to change. We finally see maybe some sanity happening the last couple of days with some of these leagues going, listen, we're not doing this.
Yeah.
Hopefully that'll be the start of something where we start to actually feel like, man, can we get back to maybe some at least semblance of sanity?
Because you've talked about this, we've talked about this with you, and you've written about this. There are a lot of significant problems that the NCAA needs to deal with. Being able to sign an NFL player back into college is not something the NCAA should be dealing with. There are some really significant things out there. Anybody who says it's the right thing to do to sign an NFL player to a college team in late August, that should not even be in front of the NCAA or its members.
No, because look, this isn't it shouldn't become fallback. And that's what it feels like it's becoming. Well, listen, if I can't make it somewhere else, I go back here and they'll pay me some money. And I struggle with this. Listen, we knew when this all started that NIL was going to be pay for play. There was never any question about this. In its basic, pure form, this would be a great thing. Hey, you know what? We get paid what we're worth. If guys got paid what they're worth and they were making some money, I don't think anybody would have a problem with that. But that's not what we're seeing. We're seeing, well, how much are they going to pay this guy? We're going to pay him more. Well, he's not worth that much money. And you start thinking about it going, look, this is not designed and should never and was never designed to be a career. College sports isn't a career. And now we've made it a career where guys going, I don't want to leave. I'm making too much money.
Yeah.
I'm going to stay here for 10 years because this is my nest egg. That's not what this was designed to be. But we've turned it into that, going, man, I'm going to go make my retirement playing college football.
You know, we have a question here, and I think I know the answer. Tobias out in Arizona wanted to know why we don't know the salaries of these players. Well, number one, they're not employees, would be my first answer, like with the NFL, and we know every player's salary in the NFL. Mm-hmm. But should we? I mean, should the fans know what every player's getting paid?
That's one I struggle with, too, because I think until you become an employee, then I don't know that there's a way to do it because, you know, that's why I think that has to become part of this. You're like, okay, you're asking people to be part of this, and some of this is private where, you know, I guess the NIL side of things could be private. Now, the salary stuff, what you're paying, maybe what you're paying from the you know, salary cap portion of the school, maybe that stuff you say, okay, well, here's how we dividing up our money. Here's how much we're spending on football. Maybe that part of stuff you could know. I don't know that you could ever get to, well, hey, here's great Southern wood. Why should we tell you what we're paying somebody? It's between us and them. That would be a hard one to do. But I do think maybe that part of things where, hey, we got $17 million of our cap money. Here's how it's being spent.
Yeah. I could just see that.
But then you're going to have Duke and Stanford and Vanderbilt and those schools that go, we don't have to tell you anything.
Yeah,
we have to tell you how much we're paying our coach. So, it would become a situation probably. That's why collective bargaining, it's going to have to get to that point for anything to really be solved.
Couldn't you imagine, John, all of those great Southern Wood commercials? All of a sudden, Gene Stalling says, wait a minute, you're paying Bobby Bowden how much to be on these commercials? I'm only getting that kind of a thing.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. If you can, explain the thought process, the pros and cons of Auburn and Alabama men's basketball playing each other in an exhibition in October, Jason.
I don't know. I struggle with that too.
So do we.
I understand that you're like, hey, this is a thing that can make you a couple $100,000. And as John Cohen is fond of saying, every day is a bake sale now in college athletics. So I guess you go every little bit helps. The part I struggle with is, you know, it's hard to fathom that somebody that you're going to play twice, you're going to play in the preseason and give them any look at what you might want to do down the road. And if you're not going to do that, then it becomes, you know, I don't know. That one's a hard, to me, I would have, and then maybe they tried. I would have loved to have said, hey, Auburn, Alabama, let's play a doubleheader on a Saturday exhibition. Yeah. You play Duke and we'll play North Carolina.
Yeah.
Or you play whoever and we'll play somebody else. And you could have sold more tickets. But maybe, look, maybe that was thought of and was going to work out. But no, it's all about, you know, raising as much money as you can, and this was an opportunity for them to go dig into that well a little bit more. But it sure feels a little weird to be playing in Alabama in an exhibition game.
Yeah, and to take it even further, Alabama's playing Ole Miss. I mean, why would you play two teams in your own conference in an exhibition game?
Yeah,
I don't get that.
Like baseball, Auburn is playing Mississippi State and Florida State, but Auburn doesn't play Mississippi State in baseball this year. Now, you might play them in the SEC tournament. That one feels a little bit different. Right?
Yeah.
You don't have to play this team in regular season. In baseball, there's not as much strategy involved other than, I mean, you might see this pitcher later in the year, but in a baseball exhibition, it's going to be one inning versus, well, we're going to see this guy second or third time. This feels a little bit different in that regard. Maybe it's heading us towards potentially seeing this in football, which I would really love to see. I would love to see sometime in August going, look, hey, like Auburn and Troy or Auburn and UAB play, bring it together, charge $10 for an exhibition game, and then divide that. You don't do that, divide that money up for those teams and see that. Then you start to talk about something that I think could be a positive when you start talking about things like that.
All right, tell me a little bit, because you've written about it, just a little bit about what mock game week is for football, what they're attempting to accomplish with all of that.
It's really interesting because I've in 27 years we've had people that they do mock games.
Right.
You go, here's a mock game where you test out your headsets and you make sure everybody's on the field when they're supposed to be on the field. It's the first time I remember, and I think Josh Heupel does it because I saw them talking about it this week, but I'd never paid attention to it before. I think it's an incredibly smart thing, especially in this day and age where you have so many new players and you have so many new players in your system, and that you're going, look, here's what Monday is going to look like when we actually play a game.
Right.
Here's what Tuesday is going to look like. Here's how practice is going to be set up. Here's how our meetings are going to work. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. It's just more attention to detail. Does that guarantee wins or losses? I don't know. But look, I think if you eliminate anything you can that would be a distraction or is an unknown, then it probably helps you. And so I think that's all this is going, look, we're going to take away any questions that you have about what next week's going to look like. Still got to play a football game, but here's how we're going to do every minute of every day. It's just more structure, and I keep coming back to the word. Nick Saban said it probably 25 million times when he was at Alabama, but the word process, and you feel like here's what the process is going to look like every day, and that's what it is. I think it's smart, we'll see how much it pays off.
Well, we're getting ready for the start of the season. Begins a week from Saturday. At Auburn 247, they're having what they call the camp sale. Camp is going on, 60% off the annual VIP membership. And this is also kind of a cheat code. Jason and Nathan and all the guys have a very active Auburn 247 YouTube channel. You can subscribe to that for free, Jason. That costs a penny.
Yep. So all of our podcast stuff, we're getting ready to do one today. Is kind of a kickoff. So we'll have that up at our YouTube page as well as, iTunes, all those places you get your podcast. But can subscribe to that YouTube page. We'll get you all of our videos, all the things we do. And look, we'll have pregame, postgame, every game, home and away. Then we'll have videos from postgame, all that stuff as well. You can find it at that YouTube page. But subscribe, 60% off if you've never been a subscriber. And then I think once you get through that initial year and you re-up, then you get Paramount Plus, and you get that deal with it, which goes incredible. So it's a deal that pays for itself. So come check us out, and it's time to roll.
Yes, go.
Yeah, you ain't kidding, man. Next week it'll be game week. We'll be previewing the Baylor Bears as they get ready to face Auburn over in Atlanta. We're looking forward to it.
Appreciate you, Jason.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you, man. Great stuff as always from our man Jason Caldwell, Auburn 247. Yep, believe it or not, game week. We'll be talking about that next week. Certainly looking forward to that.
Well, I get what he's talking about, not understanding the Auburn-Alabama exhibition game.
Don't get it.
I don't get it either. I also really don't get why Auburn is playing Wisconsin in Nashville.
Yeah.
What the heck? But,
I guess Perry basketball obviously doesn't generate the money that football does, and they're looking for every way possible to generate more money. I don't like this Auburn Alabama exhibition thing. I just like, hey man, let me run this by you. What do you think about a little exhibition? I mean, I'm thinking, no, we're not going to do that. But I'm amazed that they came to agreement on it. I don't know. I don't like it.
Again, like the Joker once said, Heath Ledger, he said, if you're really good at something, never do it for free. So you're selling all of these season tickets for basketball. Hey, don't forget of course, they've got a big time home game against Arizona. The Arizona tickets. They play Alabama in Auburn on the very last day of the regular season, March 6th. Hey, don't forget, season tickets will ensure you're in the stands for that Auburn-Alabama game, the Iron Bowl on the hardwood, March 6th. Well, I can go watch them play an exhibition game against each other at BJCC for about, I don't know, $40. And, it's degrading the value of it.
I will say this. I don't know if I like the kind of so-called pseudo exhibition football games. I mean, I've heard it in the spring. I don't know if I want it in August.
No. People get hurt in August.
Yeah.
You get hurt in spring, you can rehab and be ready in August.
Yeah.
If you get hurt in August, you ain't ready for September.
I mean, to me, and I know I'm cracking the door ever so slightly, so I don't want Bama fan to go complete panic mode here, but I'd be willing to listen. I would be willing to listen to a Troy at Alabama at Saban Field inside Bryant-Denny Stadium in the spring.
That was something Hugh Freeze brought up about, playing Auburn and something like that. Yeah.
South Alabama, Jack State, whoever else.
Well, before we go to break,
with that.
Before we go to break and welcome in Rodney Orr, the Tiger Insider, presented by the Destin Connection Seafood Market, one more football exhibition note, since John brings it up. The announcement has been made. Boy, there's a couple of things that I don't want you guys to sleep on. One of them is that there ain't going to be no ticker at the bottom of the ESPN games, which I kind of like.
I live with that.
Number two, the NFL is pulling the plug on the Pro Bowl. Instead of actually having a game.
Thought they'd already done that.
They played it. The NFL will simply name a Pro Bowl team.
Yeah, perfect.
88 players.
Yeah.
Name a team. Invite them to L.A. for a banquet in February, probably during Super Bowl week.
Schmooze them. Yeah, good
because
deal.
They are the first major professional sport to say the heck with it.
Nobody cares. The players don't care. Yeah, I'm in. Good
NBA,
deal.
are you watching? MLB, which has the best all-star game. I kind of like that a little bit. But the NFL is saying they're not playing hard. Nobody's watching. The heck with it. Let's just get rid of it. So no more Pro Bowl game in the NFL.
I know the answer to this question. I'm going to ask it anyway, like a good lawyer.
Mm-hmm.
Will there be a point spread on the Auburn-Alabama exhibition game in Boutwell?
Somebody who knows their way around that business told me you can always find a point spread somewhere. There is always somewhere in this great wide world of ours somebody who is willing to give you a number on anything. You can have two chickens fighting in the street.
That's right.
Hey, give me that black one over there.
That's exactly right. Hey, they're playing, aren't they?
They're playing, aren't they? Yeah.
They will be a number on that game. So even though I'm not really thrilled about it, there'll be a number.
Coming up in just a moment after this timeout.
Yep.
Rodney Orr, the Tiger Insider, joins us. It's Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
Known by avid golfers as one of the most beautiful and challenging stops on the Robert Trent Jones Golf Trail, Cambrian Ridge in Greenville lies just 40 miles from Montgomery. It is well worth the ride for any golfer looking for 27 holes of jaw-dropping golf. The greens have been redesigned to accommodate the higher green speeds associated with their installation of the latest generation of ultra-dwarf Bermuda grass. Cambrian Ridge offers a fully stocked pro shop with all the latest equipment and apparel. Great food and beverages in the clubhouse can be enjoyed both before and after your round. Get your group together and hit the trail. Go to rtjgolf.com/Cambrian Ridge for tee times and more information.
Win a BMW X7 or your share. The more you play, the more chances you have to win during Diamond Days all summer long at Victoryland Casino. Win diamond jewelry and your share of $105,000 in free play. Also all summer long, it's TV Tuesdays. Win TVs and your share of $80,000 in free play. Giveaways galore all summer long. Diamond Days and TV Tuesdays with $185,000 in free play at Victoryland Casino, where you can be a winner too. Victoryland Casino off I-85 exit 22 Shorter, Alabama. Must be 21 or older.
Hey, you want your property looking its very best this spring and summer, and River Region Straw has premium long needle pine straw to make that property pop. You're not buying sticks, stems, or pine cones. You're buying premium long needle pine straw from River Region Straw. Kenny and his staff have access to the best pine straw in the region, full of color that will last all season long. And now River Region Straw has a fourth location in Chelsea on Highway 280 to go along with their locations here in Montgomery, Prattville, and Auburn. No order is too big or too small, from a few bales to an 18-wheeler trailer load. To get your River Region Straw, drop by any of their 4 locations or give Kenny a call or text today, 669-5959. That's 669-5959, and have the best-looking property this spring and summer with straw from River Region Straw.
Hey, before we get to Rodney or the Tider Insider, brought to you by the Destin Connection Seafood Market, Barry, I do believe there are some NFL, speaking of exhibition games tonight.
And you will be able to find a number on them somewhere.
Yes,
Final week of the NFL preseason begins tonight with a 4-game slate. Steelers at the Bills at 6 on the NFL Network.
All right.
The Browns hosting the Patriots at 7 on Amazon Prime.
Like that.
The 49ers and the Raiders, that's at 7 on ESPN Plus. Yes, you can see an NFL preseason game on ESPN Plus. And the Rams and the Chargers in the Battle of LA tonight at SoFi. That's at 9 tonight. The second game of that NFL Network doubleheader. Steelers and Bills, NFL Network at 6. Rams and Chargers, NFL Network at 9. The NFL regular season kicks off in 13 days. The Seahawks hosting the Patriots September 9th in a rematch of Super Bowl 60.
Could be a good one. Looking forward to all that. Also looking forward to our next guest, Rodney or the Tider Insider, brought to you exclusively by our friends at the Destin Connection Seafood Market right here in Montgomery, where they have been bringing trucks up daily from the Gulf of America for the past 32 years. Fresh Gulf seafood, fresh shrimp in all sizes, crab meat, oysters, and the widest variety of fresh fish that you can find anywhere. 3750 Norman Bridge Road. Call ahead for your order. It'll be ready for pickup. 334-288-4272.
Rodney, good morning. How are you?
I am doing great. How are you guys?
Doing really well. What, again, to recap, what do you think were the ultimate factors involved in the decision to name Keelan Russell as the starting quarterback?
Well, I think it's the same things we've talked about, over the last several months, actually, that how far would he progress in terms of his understanding of the offense, managing the offense, minimizing mistakes, and all of those things in camp. I think that's the advantage that Austin Mack had coming into camp, and that's why my pre-camp pick was on Austin Mack, not because I didn't think Russell would make that improvement, but based on things we had heard, he was ahead in those areas, and those are really important. And not only is Mack, let me be clear, a good manager of the offense and has a great understanding and all of those things, but he's also a very talented guy. So I think it really came down to the improvement that Keelan Russell made in those areas. He's an extremely talented playmaker. And when I say that, I would kind of compare him to Bryce Young in those ways. And I think those are the things that in the last 2 weeks really started to reveal themselves on a higher level.
Plus, he's wearing a number that a lot of legends have worn. I pointed that out earlier in the week. Sporting number 12, Namath, Snake, Pat Trammell, and Greg McElroy. I guess I got to give him a little credit, too. Did we lose Rodney there?
No, I tell you, these touchscreen phones, guys.
Yeah, okay, that's all right.
I apologize. No, but I said Brody Kroll as well. I mean,
Brody Kroll, sure. Yep.
There's been a lot of outstanding quarterbacks here at Alabama. It's a sacred number, I think, for the quarterback spot at Alabama. So, but then again, hey, 10 is too, right? I mean, A.J. McCarron, Terry Davis, we could go back, Stedman Shealy, a lot of very successful quarterbacks wore that number as well.
Mm-hmm. Danny Woodson was number 12.
Danny Woodson was number 12.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you know what they tell me about Woodson, some of the guys that played with him, He was Cam Newton before Cam Newton.
Whoa.
He was talented. I
Just,
remember him well.
in terms of the skills, he had all those skills. Now he may not have had everything else, but he had those skills.
Yeah.
So Rodney, what do you do with Keelan Russell early in the season? Do you cut him loose? Do you bring him along gradually? What's the proper approach, do you think?
That's a really good question.
Wait a minute. Barry's catching up to me here, Rodney. I mean, wow.
Yeah, he's on a rally, John.
No kidding.
I think with the way they approach offense, I think they're going to say, look, we're confident in you. We believe in you. We know what you can do. Go out there and let it rip. We're gonna do it. I don't think there's going to be anything that conservative about it. Does that mean that they're not going to try to establish the run? And no, that's not what it means. It means that I think that they have full belief that Keelan Russell can execute what they want to do offensively, and they're not going to be shy about it. I know that Kalen DeBoer has said behind the scenes many times, I don't want a game manager. I want a guy who can go out there and make plays, that is really confident, and we're going to be confident in the guy that we put out there on the field. So I don't think they're going to be shy about letting him rip it.
I'm with you. I think he's going to rip it. And I think the running aspect, the athletic aspect as well, Rodney, is huge for this team that might, I don't know, be lacking a little in the running game. I'm trying to find a better term, but I think it should be better than it was last year. But I think you know where I'm going with this. I think having an athletic quarterback could maybe take a little pressure off that running game from time to time.
Okay, John, you're making a comeback. That's a great point.
There you go.
That's a great point. Really is, because I do think his playmaking ability is going to be big for this offense. And I say that because this is an offense that really doesn't have a lot of right now proven playmakers. You've got an offensive line, I think, that's a work in progress. There are good receivers. I think obviously Ryan Williams is very talented. Latsier Brooks is very talented. Other than those two, I think there are some guys that are ready to bud, whether it's Derek Meadows or Cedarian Morgan, the true freshman, Rico Scott. You have to have one of those three step up in a big time way, in my opinion. So I think you have some guys, but I do think Keelan Russell is the guy in terms of just having that playmaking ability. If they can get it going, and he can really do some things with his feet, as you mentioned, he can do some things with his ability to make plays when they seem to be dead. So I think that's really important that they utilize his playmaking ability in the ways that you mentioned.
Well, what about some of the other spots? Left guard, right tackle. Are those jobs settled? Could there be some, I don't know, shuffling in the first few games? How's that coming along?
Well, I don't think they're going to be shy about playing other guys. I do think they want to establish those first five. I think that they probably have those in their minds. Jackson Lloyd at left tackle. I'm going to say Mal Waldrop at left guard. Obviously, Rayson Delgatti at center, Michael Carroll at right guard, and probably Javen James at right tackle. Now, at that left guard spot, Will Sanders is still in the mix. Javen James is still in the mix at right. Nick Brooks is still in the mix at right tackle. So they've got a little bit of depth there. They can play around with things if they have to. Remember, Mal Waldrop can also play center. So I think they've got some parts there. It's just a matter of developing that cohesiveness, that unity, and that takes a while on the offensive line.
Any updates on E.J. Crowell? Obviously, that's a topic that we've touched on throughout the summer and preseason camp. Reports are he'll be ready to play. What are you hearing?
Well, I mean, there's been 5 scrimmages since he's been here, and he's yet to scrimmage. He hasn't been practicing. I know someone that was at practice a couple of days ago said he wasn't out there. Again, I don't know. I wish I could give you that answer. The discussion was, and the message from originally last week from Grubb was that they thought he would be ready. And now I see DeBoer kind of backtracking a little bit on whether or not he'll be ready for East Carolina. So I don't know. Now Deere is out. We know that. We said
yeah.
2 weeks ago that it would be 6 to 8 weeks, and now they're projecting probably South Carolina for him to return. And then also Noah Rogers at wide receiver. We've been talking about for a couple of months. We said he was way ahead of schedule, and now the timeline has shifted, and it's going from late October all the way down to now late September. So he's way ahead of schedule. We'll see if he's back by South Carolina as well.
I know this may not be a good question. I know it's a hard question, and it just is reliant upon your opinion. Do you feel at this point that by this point that this is finally Kalen DeBoer's program instead of a program transitioning from Nick Saban?
It has to be. I mean, you're in year 3. At some point, you're responsible for everything you put on the field.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that, we're at that point. It should have been last year, in my opinion. I mean, when I say that, okay, you've had your year of transition. And look, I agree with Urban Meyer. When you hire someone from the outside in a major program like this, you're basically saying we're going to forfeit that first year, because it's really difficult for someone to come in and manage all the things. And now with the portal and NIL and all of those things, it was a really tough situation that Kalen DeBoer was in that first year. So you have that first year, second year, it's really, we should start seeing your program. And maybe we did start seeing that because they did take up a big step, I think, or a step going from 9-4 to 11-4, making the playoffs and all the things that they accomplished. Now it's your program. I mean, you've recruited these guys, you've brought them in through the portal. It's your team. It's your team. You should be building your culture. Everyone should be on the same page, even though you are bringing in guys from the outside. Now it's your responsibility to start proving it.
Improving it, Rodney, to me would be a college football playoff appearance. You mentioned the culture, you mentioned the expectations, you mentioned the standard. Rodney, if this team does not make the playoff, fair or not, you know as well as I do, the fans are not going to be happy.
Not in the least. You made it last year. You're looking for a step forward, even though you've got a lot of young faces. Again, it's a real challenge with that 9-game schedule in the SEC now. I think they have to go 10-2. That's what I think. I know there's some people that are predicting 9-3 and in the playoffs, but I think that's a real stretch. Certainly puts you in an uncomfortable situation if you have 3 losses. So, I do. And here's the thing. There's a feeling among some that I don't really subscribe to is, okay, this is a building year. If you don't make the playoffs, you don't make it. No, I still think the reaction, what it's going to be.
Sure.
You know what it's going to be. But the goal is in 2027. No, the goal for Alabama is this year. You start looking ahead to 2027. The schedule's really tough.
Yeah.
I mean, they played Texas and Ohio State, among others. Florida, you could go down the list. I don't have the complete schedule in front of me, but it's going to be a real challenge in 2027. So you can't be counting on 2027 as our year. It starts here. You need to make the playoffs, because guess what? If you don't make the playoffs this year, it's a real challenge next year, and you don't make it next year.
And Rodney, I don't want to hear this knee-jerk reaction from the fans. Got to get rid of this guy. Got to fire him. Well, Rodney, they got $70 million in a buyout they got to eat. They got a contract extension they just gave him last year. Who you going to hire to replace him? Unless some off-the-field fiasco happens or they go 4-8, they're not firing Kalen DeBoer. So the fan base has just got to get that out of their system.
No, they're not firing him, and it's unlikely they would. I'm saying even potentially next year.
Sure.
Now, again, I don't want to really speculate about that because you just don't know.
No.
But as far as firing him, I totally agree with you. That's not happening. Not just for the money. I mean, I just don't think it's going to happen. I think Kalen DeBoer is a quality coach. I think he has a lot of things that are very, what would you say, things that you look for in a coach to lead your program. I think all of those things are there. I think the one thing, John, and again, not to get off on this, but I think the one thing that remains to be answered, because we're talking about how they do this year, what the expectations are. I think the one thing is he a fit?
Yeah.
And I think we're going to start to find that out this year.
You mentioned the importance of the 27 season not being certainly more important than right here, right now, where your feet are. What is, if you can gauge, what's been the reaction from the TigerInsider.com message boards about Alabama opening up 29 in week 0 against Louisiana Tech? Do they get it?
I'll be honest with you, Barry. I didn't even know that because I haven't looked at 29 yet. And that could change. You never know. No,
Yeah.
I haven't seen any reaction. Maybe I missed it. Maybe is there something out there today? I haven't seen it, but
It's no big deal, Barry. Yeah, say it isn't any big deal. Yeah.
Alabama, and this is the way John, I'm not speaking for John, he's made his case. Alabama is reported to have signed a deal to open up 2029 in week 0, which will be August 25th against Louisiana Tech at home, before traveling the next week and to Notre Dame September 1st.
Well, the only thing I would say about that, and I don't know what Notre Dame's schedule is in 2029, but it's good to get a game under your belt. And if Alabama gets a game under their belt, you know what they say about improvement from the first game to the second game.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of things. I mean, obviously we're in 2026 and, we can't even answer questions that are right in front of us.
Right.
And I know this too. This has been a long, long off season.
God, boy, you ain't kidding.
It's been a long off season.
Let's go.
Let's tee it
Let's
up.
get to East Carolina.
And my thing about this week 0 game, I looked at it from an off week standpoint, Rodney, that, hey, you're right. Get a game under your belt before you travel to South Bend. I certainly understand that. But I'm also thinking you play week 0, maybe you wiggle in the off week before you play Florida or Texas or whoever else in the SEC's on your schedule. I kind of looked at it from that standpoint of kind of, getting those off weeks where you want them instead of, hey, let's go ahead and play in week 0 and we'll take our off week later in the season.
Yeah, what you're saying is there are some positives there.
Yeah.
I mean, to that scheduling. And I think you're right. I mean, I see that. Like I said initially, I think playing a game before you go to Notre Dame would be really big. You'd hate to go up there and open the season. That's just me. That's just me.
You.
But
I totally agree with that.
But with that said, guess what? Eventually, the next year, Notre Dame comes to Tuscaloosa. How about that?
Barry, I'm probably going to be at that game. I go ahead and tell you, don't count on me doing anything that day. I'll probably be in Tuscaloosa when the Irish run out of the tunnel for the very first time. They've never played in Tuscaloosa, only at Legion Field. We can have a little reminiscent here, Barry. Ray Perkins, probably the biggest victory in his career, finally beating the Irish, something Coach Bryant never was able to do.
Let me stretch my legs. Let me get comfortable here. Here we go.
All right. So you want to talk about that game?
Oh, yeah. I remember.
I'll tell you, I was in TV at that time. We were covering a game in Memphis that night.
Yeah.
And of course, that was a day game. And we went up there early. The guy that was my camera guy, he was also an Alabama grad. So we went up and got a hotel room so we could watch that game. And, I'll never forget this, John and Barry. When Cornelius Bennett laid out Bureline, I yelled so loud that I strained my voice. I couldn't even talk that night but I say all that.
The thing about that one is that everybody in the free world knew that was about to happen, except Steve Bureline.
Yeah.
And listen, I yelled so loud I couldn't talk. But I'll never forget my first thoughts were I've been waiting 13 years for that. I've been waiting since that New Year's Eve night in '73.
Oh, I was like 11 years old. I think I cried that night watching that game. Rodney, I don't even remember the score of that game. I remember that play with Bennett and Bureline.
28-10.
28-10. Yeah. Wow. Man, what a good one. Rodney Orr, the Tider Insider, brought to you exclusively by the Destin Connection Seafood Market, 3750 Norman Bridge Road here in Montgomery. Call ahead, 334-288-4272. Your order will be ready for pickup. They are delivering fresh seafood daily from the Gulf of America and have been for the last 32 years. Shrimp, oysters, crab meat, and the widest variety of fish that you can imagine. It's all there at the Destin Connection.
By the way, Steve Berline says does not recommend the Cornelius Bennett experience. 0 of 10, thumbs down, would not recommend. Everybody's, oh, what a great game. Berline didn't think it was so great.
I bet he didn't.
It was a fumble too, guys.
It was a fumble. I hear we need an instant replay back there. Kind of like that Penn State game with Preston Goddard, but I know we're running late on time here. But I mean, that was another one, Rodney.
That was a touchdown. I mean, man, what a terrible feeling. I just remember going out that night after the game. Here in Tuscaloosa, everyone was just so depressed because of that. And the bartender at one of these local places they had a big chalkboard that they wrote the drinks on the chalkboard. He erased it all and he put final score, Alabama 35, Penn State 34.
Hey, I don't know if we've ever brought this up, but Barry and I've had this debate over the years. It was Freddie Kitchens. Who did he hit in the back of the end zone over at Auburn, Barry, for a touchdown? And
Curtis Brown. It wasn't a touchdown, but he was the guy. He caught the ball. That's for sure.
Huh. Yeah. I think we need an instant replay on that one as well, Rodney. What do you say?
I wish they would just do an instant replay on that one to see and to make a determination. Just do it now. It doesn't
with
change
technology
anything.
and AI and Zoom and
yeah, that would be great. Well, we've reminisced enough today, Rodney. Let our viewers and listeners know all about Tider Insider. How do you become a member? How do you subscribe? Because now is the time. There is a ton of info.
Right. It's TiderInsider.com. It's only $48 a year. You can get access right now with your credit card, or if you prefer, there is an address there to send a check. And that gives you all our premium information, but also our all sports forum where it's nonstop there on TiderInsider.com.
No question about that. Rodney, as always, we appreciate it very much. Look forward to game week next week in our visit.
Okay, guys. Appreciate it. Take care.
Thank you, Rodney. As always, Rodney Orr, the Tider Insider, joining us here today, exclusively brought to you by the Destin Connection Seafood Market.
Can I just say this?
Sure.
Urge everybody. John, y'all have calendars. Look at your calendar. You know what's coming up. Labor Day weekend. John knows a lot of people. I know several people who have gone years and years and years and years before they last celebrated the Labor Day weekend without the Destin Connection Seafood Market.
Come on.
For some people, it's a tradition. Every year, just like clockwork, they'll call and David Scott over the Destin Connection will say, I was wondering when I'd hear from you. Yeah, give me my usual, David. We got a big crowd coming over and we want to party. For a lot of people, Labor Day weekend wouldn't be Labor Day weekend without the Destin Connection Seafood.
Well, you got to, Barry. Go ahead, call ahead. David will have that order ready for you, whatever you may need. Even if you're heading to the lake or the beach or wherever, do like I do. If I'm heading to the coast, I'm taking it from here because I know it's fresher than when I can get down there. I'm telling you, I know it sounds crazy, but it's true. And the Destin Connection can hook it up for you. They'll ice it up, pack it in for you, and you'll be good to go. Or they can prepare it if you'd like to. They can certainly do that. But, yes, for Labor Day, get ready. You're watching all the big games, and the Destin Connection should certainly be a part of it.
When we come back, it is the Phantom's Daily Dog.
Ugh.
It's the Thursday show. Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
Located just 8 miles north of Alabama's state capital, Capitol Hill features 3 18-hole championship courses. With more than 1,500 acres of golf and nature, the pure magnitude of this facility is amazing and allows each course to be drastically different from the others. Capitol Hill also features an innovative 360-degree driving range, 400 yards in diameter. Capitol Hill offers a fully stocked pro shop with the latest equipment and apparel. Great food and beverages in the clubhouse can be enjoyed both before and after your round. Get your group together and hit the trail. Go to rtjgolf.com/Capitol Hill for tee times and more information.
It's game day, which means some fans are packing up the car 4 hours early, while others wait until just before kickoff. Some fans are wearing their brand new jerseys, while others are wearing the same jersey they've worn since '03, because it's tradition, and why shouldn't they? NFL fans root for their teams differently, but they drink the same beer, Bud Light. The only beer that loves football as much as you do. Bud Light. Raise one to right now. Enjoy responsibly. Bud Light Beer, AB St. Louis, Missouri.
Phoenix Physical Therapy is ready to help patients recover, recharge, and rise. They develop a customized therapy plan for each patient to get them back to enjoying their favorite activities. Their experienced team is committed to providing exceptional care in a professional environment. Whether you're looking to prevent or treat an injury, recover from a recent illness, or recuperate from surgery, schedule an appointment with one of their clinics and take advantage of physical therapy, athletic training, workers' comp, and employer solution services. Get back in the game, get back to work, and get back to life with Phoenix Physical Therapy. To find a location near you and to schedule an appointment, go to phoenixphysicaltherapy.com. That's phoenixphysicaltherapy.com.
At Dixie Overhead Door, we specialize in top-quality garage door solutions for homes across Alabama and Georgia. In need of a garage door repair or a brand new garage door installation, our expert team delivers fast, reliable service with local expertise that you can trust, providing customized solutions and exceptional care every step of the way. Visit us today at DixieOverheadDoor.com and experience the Dixie difference.
Well, speaking of done, we were done early last night, Barry. Woo, man. Yeah, I got to say this was kind of my kind of game because after the second inning, I said, okay, I'm out. I'm done. I ain't got to watch any more of this game. That's the beauty of baseball. Unfortunately, the Daily Dog got run over last night as the Philadelphia Phillies rolled into Seattle and put 6 on the board in the first 2 innings.
Womp, womp,
Yeah.
womp, 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 womp.
So
Baseball, in a betting sense, has got to be like yacht racing or the America's Cup. Remember, Roma used to say, if you're leading at the turn,
you won.
You're not gonna get beat. Nobody's stomping on the accelerator in the home stretch and winning a yacht race. Same thing with that one. That one was mercifully without much suspense.
It was tough
for the Phantom.
So it was tough. You know, we're not discounting the fact that we took an L last night.
6-0 final score in Seattle. It was basically Philly threw a little 2-hit shutout.
Yeah, they did.
At the Mariners at home in Seattle. Woof.
Yeah. And maybe I don't know what happened to Mr. Wu yesterday, but he's boo hoo Wu. Not good. I don't know what Wu's first name is. It starts with
Brian.
Brian Wu.
Wu.
Yeah. Sorry, Brian Wu. You cost us. So
but
the good part of it is we were done by the start of the third. We're out. Good. Let's go do something else. So I got that going for us. So let's move on. That was then. This is now. Let's look at today. So as we look at the schedule for today, couple of early games. Most of them are going to be a little later today as normal. We are looking at an early game.
Whoa.
Today. That is on ESPN Unlimited. Bear, have you figured out what unlimited means?
I really have not. Is it Gardner Webb at Austin P?
No.
Is it
we're
Mississippi
not going for
Valley State at Nichols?
No. We're not ready for football just yet. Might want to watch Lace Up Friday night, though. We are going to have football.
Full disclosure, I do a lot of work for ESPN Plus. And even I have no idea what ESPN Unlimited is. Is it more than plus? Is it plus? I don't know. I don't know. Anyway.
Today in St. Louis at 1:15, if you have ESPN Unlimited, you got the Cardinals and the Orioles. And once again, an interleague game.
going on today. And the Cardinals are a home underdog in this matchup. I'm looking at the standings here to see what's going on. The Cardinals, of course, in the Central Division, in third place, 16.5 out of first.
Yeah, they just got swept. Cardinals just got swept by the Phillies.
Yeah. Lost 5 in a row, actually, Barry. They're 3-7 in their last 10.
But I don't usually pay attention to this, but according to the metrics or whatever, I think it's ESPN.
Okay.
Cardinals right now, their chances of making the playoffs, 2.3%.
You know, I hated that.
Which is even larger than John's chance of making the Dean's List, but
yeah, true. Well, I don't know.
You know, his second go round, he was
pretty good.
He was like Oppenheimer.
Mm-hmm.
his first go around, it was more like the Stork. I don't know.
Yeah, it was pretty rough.
Yeah.
Pretty rough.
Okay, but yeah, all right, so there we go.
So Baltimore, Barry, coming into town, they're 14 games out of first place in the American League East. And, can't fault them because Tampa Bay's,
got the best record in the American League, by the way.
Sure they do.
Now the Orioles still, they're not going to win the division.
No.
But they still have a little carrot in front of them because they're only 2.5 games out of the wild card. So they got a lot to play for.
Well, they're only a half a game from being in dead last in their division.
Well, it's a bad division.
Yeah, bad division. They've won 2 in a row, 5-5 in their last 10. But I'm saying to myself, Cardinals home underdogs here today. And I've been looking at the numbers all across the board for this afternoon tilt. Is it still Busch Stadium? Where do they play there in St. Louis?
I think so. Yeah, Busch Stadium.
So they are a solid, I say solid, but they're a slight underdog. This is kind of like a little small Chihuahua dog. This isn't a big Labrador or Husky or, something of that nature. St. Bernard. It's a small dog. They are plus 105 at home this afternoon, the St. Louis Cardinals. I can't even pronounce this guy's name who's pitching today for the Cardinals. That could be a bad thing.
Connor Jerpy?
Something like that. Yeah.
Jerpy? I've never heard of that guy.
Yeah. Well, see, could be they're throwing an ace out there. We don't even know it.
That's right.
Yeah, Trevor Rogers going for the Orioles.
Going for the Orioles. He had a bad start, but he's been really good since like the 1st of June. Really good, like a 2.6 ERA.
So we're going to take the home team dog today. Early, note that, early game, early first pitch, 1:15. St. Louis plus 105 hosting the Baltimore Orioles today.
Hope springs eternal in the human heart. Maybe, just maybe, this is the last week that the Phantom will be the Phantom will pick a baseball game in his Phantom.
You know what? I don't know. I would think during the weekdays, baseball's going to be there. Baseball's been pretty good to the Phantom this year, so
that's true.
We're not going to not jumping off the horse just yet.
I can tell you this without fear of confrontation. Tomorrow, when Ralph Michaels joins us from Wager Talk,
did you hear that, Theotis?
Very, very minimal chance of talking baseball tomorrow.
Probably not.
You're right, Ralph.
You're probably going to be talking about some of these things, Barry. Yeah. TCU, as much as a 9.5-point favorite in some places I'm looking at today, hosting North Carolina or playing North Carolina in Dublin, Ireland.
My buddy Danny Reed is going to be doing the national radio call on that.
That's right. Exactly. Yep. Southern Cal, a 38.5-point favorite, hosting San Jose State. UVA, this number's been moving a little bit, hosting NC State in an ACC tilt. They're about a 4-point favorite.
I don't think that one's going to count in the ACC. It's one of those weird ones.
Is it an exhibition game?
No, it's not an exhibition game. I'll before I say anything else, I think that one is not a counter in the ACC schedule for some reason. I don't know. Anyway.
Florida State, who will be taking on Alabama in a couple of weeks, a 30-point favorite hosting New Mexico State. Is that the team that beat Auburn?
Yes, it is, when they had Diego Pavia. Yeah, Florida State has New Mexico State, then SMU on the Monday night of Labor Day, then an off week.
I'll go figure.
Before they travel to Tuscaloosa.
Figure.
Oh,
how about this one, Barry? This was a really good game last year. It was in Hawaii, Stanford and Hawaii.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a shootout. I was very impressed.
Timmy Chang, baby. He just got like a 3-year contract extension as the Hawaii head coach.
Very impressed with their quarterback as well. He kind of had some Tua characteristics to him. He's left-handed as well.
I think it's Chevin Cordero, maybe that guy.
I think it
I'm
is.
not sure.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
And they're traveling to the Farm to take on Stanford as Stanford's laying 4 in this game. The Rainbow Warriors are underdog going into Stanford. That could be a good one. Any TV for that? Was that CBS Sports Network possibly?
That's my guess. Probably, Stanford's full of smart people.
Mm-hmm.
Full of smart people. This is how smart Stanford is. Week 1, they play Hawaii. Week 2, they play Miami. It is impossible to have 2 schools farther away from each other. Stanford plays Hawaii and Miami back-to-back, both of them at home.
Yeah, they're lucky that they're getting them at home.
That is smart.
Yeah,
can you imagine?
Very lucky that they're getting them at home.
Yeah.
Bama, if you're scoring at home, 28.5-point favorite against East Carolina.
28.5.
4 big touchdowns. 4 touchdowns there. Alabama's week 2 opponent is a 23.5-point favorite over Youngstown State, that being the Kentucky Wildcats.
I didn't even know they would have a line on that game because Youngstown State is FCS. But
Auburn, I'm seeing anywhere from 7.5 to 6.5.
Lay it.
In their game against the Baylor Bears. Contrary to what Mr. College Football Tony Barnhart said when he left our interview post at SEC Media Days, watch out for those Baylor Bears.
Still can't figure that one out.
Yeah.
Let's take a time out. More to come in just a moment. It's Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
Longshore and McKnight are brought to you in part by Stivers Automotive, Stivers Ford in Montgomery, and Stivers Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Prattville. For the absolute best on-site selection, service, and price, no other dealer can match Stivers. Stivers Ford in Montgomery is located at 4000 Eastern Boulevard and online at stiversfordmontgomery.com. Stivers CDJR in Prattville is located at 2209 Cobbs Ford Road and online at stiverscdjr.com. Longshore and McKnight have been Stivers customers for over 15 years. You should be too. Stivers Automotive, where Price sells cars, trucks, and SUVs.
Excuse me, just gonna hop in here.
Pardon me? Whoa. Don't even think about it.
I'd like a beer, Bud Light. Bud Light, please.
Bud Light.
Just one.
Bud Light.
Just one Bud Light, please. Excuse me.
Hold my legs.
What's this? You teaming up? That is crazy.
Hello? One Bud Light, please.
Two.
Anything for the clean, crisp taste of Bud Light.
I knew you still had it.
Did you?
No.
Big news for Central Alabama travelers. Getting to Texas just got easier. You can now fly nonstop from Montgomery to Houston with United Airlines. No long drives, no layovers, just smooth direct travel from your hometown airport. Whether it's business or a weekend getaway, Houston is now just one flight away. Spend more time there and less time getting there. Fly nonstop to Houston. Fly MGM, where travel feels easy. Book your trip today at flymgm.com.
Okay, back at it in about 20 minutes to the top of the hour here. We've talked about the La Tech opener in week 0, which, okay, whatever. The exhibition game, definitely against, don't like it, don't understand it, but it's all about money. I get it. Is Byron Brown a $3 million quarterback? To me, Barry, that just seems a little pricey, but hey, I'm not in the quarterback NIL market.
Yeah, we talked about it, or I talked about it yesterday. Today, John's got his bee in his bonnet about it. And if you look at the market,
yeah,
he's actually, just kind of all right,
Mm-hmm.
The number one, and don't ask me why, it is what the market says it is. That's like John has always said, whatever somebody is willing to pay you is what you're worth.
Yeah.
Never, ever has John nor I ever been involved with an employer or something, and they said, well, we're going to pay you this for this. And us say, oh, no, that's way too much. Oh, no way.
It's kind of like this, Barry, and all you neophyte.
I tell you what, I'm worth only this. Go ahead and only pay me this, and I'll be fine. You are worth what somebody will pay you.
And it's like, all you newbie neophyte salespeople out there, let me give you a little piece of advice.
All right.
Once the prospective client says, yeah, this is a good deal, I'm in, shut up. Don't say another word. Don't say another word.
Yep. Whenever you talk to the prospective client, and you give him the price of whatever you're selling him, whether it's a sponsorship or whatever, and you tell him what the price is, let him or her be the next one to speak, not you. Okay, same deal. Now, this is what we laid out yesterday. Byron Brown, 3-year starter at South Florida, led the country in total yards per game last season, which is a Cam Petway stat.
Okay.
He signed with Auburn, set to make roughly $3 million this season, according to a report from On3. Roughly $3 million.
Okay.
Miami's Darian Mensah, who's a good quarterback, he sprang onto the scene when he won the job at Tulane under John Sumrall. Darian Mensah for the Hurricanes reportedly set to make more than $6 million this season, including incentives. He entered the portal on the final day of the portal window and had a big legal battle with Duke, because he had signed a 2-year contract with Duke.
Yeah.
Only went one. Dante Moore of Oregon, Trinidad Chambliss of Ole Miss, Sam Levitt of LSU, Indiana's Josh Hoover, Washington's DeMond Williams. No, he's not the guy that played Lamont in Sanford and Son.
Okay.
All of those names were reported to be making more than $4 million.
So, Barry, obviously,
Byron Brown, roughly $3 million.
Barry, so obviously the VIP River Region Straw text line thinks a lot like I do. Because I
Which
thought
is why they're members. That's why John has not blocked them yet.
True. And I did think this. I just didn't speak it. But I'm getting some responses on the VIP River Region Straw text hotline.
Yeah.
Anybody else out there willing to pay Byron Brown $3 million?
The country's leader in total yardage last year? Maybe. Now,
let me go Philip Fulmer. Anybody knocking his door down, ringing his phone off the hook to pay him $3 million?
Why would they not? He's experienced. He's athletic. He can throw. He might throw a little funny, according to some of your operatives.
Of how many big-time opponents South Florida under Byron Brown beat in the last 2 seasons? And I know Alex Golish is the head coach.
You have no idea who they beat. They beat Florida last year, and they're not big time. They're one at a time.
Well, they're again, multiple seasons. I think the only 2 teams they've beaten that you would recognize their names.
Not me. The first He's talking teams, you generally.
The first 2 teams on their schedule last year. Florida was one of them. trying to think who the other one was, but it was recognizable, but obviously not overly recognizable because I cannot remember.
Well, no, that doesn't necessarily keep somebody from being overly recognizable.
Or the whole career of Alex Golich, which I believe Byron Brown's pretty much been there the whole time.
Right.
A lot of wins against, the Texas Wesleyans.
There ain't no
Houston Baptist.
Totally not true. He's trying to make a point with made-up teams. He's trying to promote his agenda with schools that aren't even real schools. And again, we lose John's audio, so maybe that's appropriate. Well, can't hear John. Let's take a break right here while we can for John to get his microphone fixed. When we come back, it's the Gurn Jr. Victoryland 777 Topic Wheel. It's Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
Longshore and McKnight are brought to you in part by Stivers Automotive, Stivers Ford in Montgomery, and Stivers Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Prattville. For the absolute best on-site selection, service, and price, no other dealer can match Stivers. Stivers Ford in Montgomery is located at 4000 Eastern Boulevard and online at stiversfordmontgomery.com. Stivers CDJR in Prattville is located at 2209 Cobbs Ford Road and online at stiverscdjr.com. Longshore and McKnight have been Stivers customers for over 15 years. You should be too. Stivers Automotive, where Price sells cars, trucks, and SUVs.
All right, man, grab a Budweiser and take a knee. It is the best time of the year. It's baseball season. That means sunshine. It means behind-the-back peanut tosses. And it means sharing some cold, frosty Budweisers with your boys. Because there's nothing more American than watching America's game with America's beer. So let me ask you something. Are you ready to bring your A game? Are you ready to cheer every frozen rope down the line and amazing catch at the warning track? Are you ready for pitchers' duels and slugfests? Tell me, are you ready for the thrill of an incredible walk-off victory? I can't hear you. Are you ready for Budweiser and baseball? Then get on your feet, raise an ice-cold Bud, and let's make this season larger than life. Great times await. Get some Bud!
Enjoy responsibly. Budweiser Beer, Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri. Win a BMW X7 or your share of $25,000 in free play during Victoryland Casino's BMW and $25,000 free play giveaway. The more you visit, the more chances you have to win. And all summer long, win diamond jewelry and TVs, along with a share of $185,000 in free play during Diamond Days and TV Tuesdays. Giveaways all summer long at Victoryland Casino, where you can be a winner too. Victoryland Casino, I-85 exit 22, Shorter, Alabama. Drawings August 14th and 15th. Must be 21 or older. Must be present to win.
Oh, boy, let's see. I don't feel good about this.
Oh, here we go.
Hey, there we are.
Here on the, what is today?
Thursday.
Thursday. It is Thursday. Thursday, Longshore McKnight. Moving on along here. Looking at Alex Golich when he was at South Florida, some of the staggering team, they were 4-4 in the league, 7-6, won the Boca Raton Bowl in his first season.
Yeah.
Tied for 5th in his league. 2024 went 7-6, 4-4, tied for 6th in his league, beat Hawaii, or won the Hawaii Bowl.
Right.
Last year they went to the Cure Bowl, but I don't think he participated in it.
He did not. He did not. He was there. It was weird. I watched that game. He was there. He had on his jersey, but no pads, on the sidelines. And the quarterback who got thrust into the starting job in the bowl, he'd come over to the sidelines, and Byram would kind of coach him up. Hey, you see on this one, you throw the, and I'm thinking, why is everybody, to be honest, why is everybody okay with this?
Yeah.
Why, if he is not playing for me, and he's been playing all year.
Yeah.
Why do you allow him on the sideline?
Why do you allow
I did
him?
have a problem with that.
You know, in Golish's first year, Barry, they beat Syracuse 45-0 in the Boca Raton Bowl. Wow, Syracuse that bad?
That might have been the swan song for our buddy Dino Babers.
Could have been, but
Yep.
that was about the only team that I recognize on their 2023 schedule that they beat that I know of. 2024, about more of the same. I don't recognize anybody that they beat that year either. They did beat San Jose State in the Hawaii Bowl that year, but beating teams like Tulsa, Charlotte, FAU.
At the risk of derailing this scintillating look through the 2024 South Florida schedule, it's about time now for
Well, wait a minute. I was accused of not being able to come up with teams of note that Florida, South Florida.
You were making up names. Texas.
So here's who they beat last year. They did beat number 25 Boise. They did beat number 13 Florida. So in 3 seasons, 2 marquee games, I guess, teams that they did get beat 49-12 by Miami in week 3. But, you know, I guess a slight improvement. Navy beat them. Memphis Old Dominion beat them. Ugh. But anyway, all in all, I give them some credit on those first 2.
I think Old Dominion beat him in the Boca Raton Bowl without Byron.
So in 3 seasons, Golish had 2 big victories against the teams we know of. So there you have it.
We know of?
Yeah.
Or you know of. Yeah, okay. Or the VIP text
The
line.
majority of college football fans know of. Yeah.
Sounds like they played a bunch of teams with relatively the same budget, the same resources, the same support as South Florida did.
So that's the kind of, there again, you had John Summerall right there on a silver platter. Could have hired him. He had his team in the playoff. Huh? Don't think that's not coming up the Monday after the Florida Auburn game.
I've already taken my crack at trying to get to the
Let's
thing
do
because
it.
I got to get out of here at 9. I'm not going to
Me
go
too.
any
I got to
further.
go.
We'll let John do it.
No,
whenever he's
Let's
good
go.
and ready. All right, here we go.
Let's roll.
You know, Victoryland 777 Casino, exit 22, I-85, Shorter, Alabama, where you can be a winner too. Tagged up.
This didn't happen in Seattle last night.
There wasn't hardly any of it.
Uh-uh.
Friday night, the Atlanta Falcons play their final exhibition game. Michael Penix has been hurt, but Tua will start the preseason finale against the Dolphins. Now, Tua has not been, he led the league in passing yardage one year, but he played against Syracuse or, Navy or somebody. Tua hasn't played much, and he hasn't exactly shown, he hasn't exactly stood out in preseason. John, if he can throw the football 40 yards, that throw he made to Devontae Smith to win the national championship against Georgia, he cannot make that throw anymore. He cannot throw it that far anymore.
Tua might need to find something else to do then. Is that what you're saying?
He's he might gain a good living for several years as a backup quarterback. And believe me, I'm a Tua fan. I just, I thought he'd be a lot better than he has been.
And he's thicker. He's bigger. Maybe, I've heard golfers say you don't want to get thick and put on a lot of weight and muscle and work out. It affects your swing. Maybe it affects your throwing.
They also said Seve Ballesteros was really good until he got married.
That's true.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. Ian Baker Finch, same thing.
Ian Baker Finch. Okay, let's go back to it. Here we go. 5
Let's
left.
do it. What we got? It's going to be the green panel. 2 for 12.
2 for 12.
Jalen Milroe.
The Phantom. I don't know. Let me think.
Whoa. Ouch. Oh, here we go.
Yeah, Jonathan Kuminga. Very good player. 2 years, $12.4 million for the Minnesota Timberwolves. There he is, number 0.
Yep.
Played for the Hawks last year. Extremely athletic.
Man, look at this guy. Gee, my
his
daddy. You
head
kidding me?
is over the rim.
Woo.
Yeah. 2 years. Now, Minnesota is not the team they have been. Anthony Edwards is their stall player. They got LaMelo Ball. We'll see how he works out. Rudy Gobert is a has-been. So we'll see. Kuminga had offers from the Lakers, the Bulls, and the Trailblazers. He's a difference maker. He's not the best player out there, but he's pretty dang good.
With a dunk like that, sign that guy up.
Yeah, but you got
Pretty
guys
impressive.
who can dunk, but they can't play,
All right.
Okay, here we go.
Let's do it. What's up next on the wheel? I see there are 4 more topics: yellow, green, blue, and red. Spin away, and let's see where it lands. Victoryland over 24/7, 365, exit 22 in Shorter, Alabama.
Great comeback. Where's OBS on the topic wheel? Yeah, 7 runs in the 9th, including this grand slam right here.
I want to see it.
Boom.
Oh, boy.
Bases loaded. Bottom of the 9th. Cincinnati down 5. Now they're down 1.
Hey, John from Wetumpka, look at all those fans. Huh.
They ended up winning the game. It was in San Francisco. A day game in San Francisco is actually preferable to the absolute ice storm it usually is at night. And the Reds ultimately ended up winning it.
Man, that is a tough
7 runs in the 9th inning. That's a crusher.
Yeah,
for the
that's
San
a tough
Francisco
one. And in front of that crowd, Barry, wow.
Yeah, let's see. The Reds had lost 967 consecutive games when trailing by at least 6 entering the 9th, and improved that record in such situations to 3 and 1,917. The 6-run lead in the 9th was the largest ever squandered by the Giants since 1901. Just to give you an idea of how improbable that one. Eugenio Suarez, the grand slam, was the catalyst of that. Reds win. They beat the Giants. There we go.
There we have it. Okay, we got some more 3 to go. Victoryland, where you can be a winner too. How about those TV Tuesday giveaways? Those diamond giveaways, you could be a big winner along with a lot of cash as well at Victoryland.
This is Doubled Up.
Doubled Up.
Why is OBS in there? Okay, Doubled Up. Oh, well.
Oh, tennis. A little doubles.
Serena and Venus will play the U.S. Open in doubles. They're both in their mid-40s now. Serena's 44. Venus is 46.
Mm-hmm.
They were they had a free pass into Wimbledon for the doubles, but Serena injured her knee.
Yeah.
Let them go.
Yeah, let them go.
Let them go. They're both.
Have you ever noticed, not professional doubles tennis, but if you're watching people play doubles tennis just around and about, you're up at the net and you're not getting a lot of action and you're getting a little frustrated, and then you see a ball go, oh, here's my chance. You step in front of it, boom, into the net.
Right.
Ow.
The guy behind you's cussing you out and everything. Man, I was all over that one.
Yeah.
Well, I was bored over here.
Yeah, exactly. If you're playing amateur doubles, the guys at the net seem to get a little bored.
Yeah.
And then they make a stupid mistake. They go, I got to get into the game. I'm just standing here. They stand, boom, out, hit the net.
Boredom is one of the key factors in all walks of life in doing stupid things.
That's right.
Well, why did you do that? What an idiot. Well, I was bored.
Bored.
That's no excuse.
I didn't. All right, 2 more to go. Here we go. It is the Victoryland 777 topic wheel here on a Thursday. 2 more to go. Let's see what we got.
Despite John going through his entire litany of why Byron Brown isn't worth $3 million, we are actually on schedule here. This is Family Feud.
Which could be an Auburn topic, but it's not.
Well, are you telling me that in August we are going to be talking about whether or not the latest transfer quarterback is any good? Haven't we been doing that for the last 3 years? Well, the SEC has settled on punishments for programs and they already said the SEC said they're not going to allow it. They're not going to allow
That's
it.
right.
Any head coach who does it now, Lane, we're looking at you, is looking at a half of a season suspension. You lose your SEC voting privileges and you lose 50% of that sports annual operating budget. Not your whole athletic budget, but like the football budget. And they ain't going to do that. Half of
those
your
penalties
football
are pretty
budget
severe.
I mean, that's the closest thing you can get to the death penalty without
Yeah.
actually having it, John.
Those are when I saw those yesterday, Barry, I'm going, whoa, they ain't messing around.
It was voted on by all 16 league members. The vote was 15-0 with one abstention. Guess which school abstained?
I wonder why.
It was LSU.
Yeah.
So, all right.
But they ain't messing around. Greg, go for it, buddy. I like it. All right. What else we got
Final
left?
one
One
has
more
to
to
do
go.
with the Aubs. I do know that. All right.
It's
What
a
could
blue
this
panel.
possibly be?
Yeah, spin
Aubs
away.
versus Canada.
Hobbs versus Canada. Huh. Okay.
We don't
I
know
heard
very
where
many
one of the
Canadian Aubs.
provinces in Canada was voting to secede from Canada. They were so upset with what was going on up there. I wonder how that vote went.
Maybe Norton McKay Lozier is
Yeah. Hobbs versus Canada. What
Premier.
is this? Huh. Okay.
the U.S. Oh,
Oh.
that's where the Aubs come from. We're talking
got
about
it.
toilet paper.
Good one,
U.S.
Gurn.
faces surging toilet paper prices amid a trade war with Canada. Paper products among the hardest hit sectors. Who uses
That looks
paper?
like some Costco paper there.
Woo.
You know, Barry, I
tariffs
don't.
are between 25% and 50% on toilet paper.
You know, I do not think it affects dude wipes. So we're good there.
Yeah, but you can't throw dude wipes in the trees on
True.
the Auburn campus.
True. Yeah.
I mean, you can, but
Yeah.
that doesn't have the same effect.
It does
Very, very perceptive of Gurn Jr. to see a trade war and
Yeah.
potential tariffs between the United States and Canada, and immediately he's learning, John.
That's right.
Immediately equate it to Auburn. Hey, what's Auburn going to throw? It's going to cost him a lot more money.
But you know
to
what?
roll
It
to
don't
this
matter.
corner.
They will spend money on whatever it takes. So toilet paper prices
they
could
go
triple.
12-0,
They're buying it.
If they go 12-0, 5-0, well,
Don't
5
matter
and-
what it costs. So
They-
what?
Why do you think they decided to play that Baylor game in Atlanta? They couldn't afford the home game because of the toilet paper cost.
Yeah, could be.
Well, all right, there we go. That is
All
it.
right. Good stuff as always here today, Barry. I will be out tomorrow. I know I think Gurn Sr.'s going to hop on. Ralph Michaels from Wager
Yeah.
Talk and the Gold Shoot will be a part of the show at Stivers Ford in Montgomery.
Yes, we are looking forward to it. For Rodney Orr, the Tiger Insider, brought to you by the Destin Connection Seafood Market, and Auburn 247's Jason Caldwell and our producer, Gurn Jr. I'm Barry McKnight with John Longshore. It's Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.